too much fun.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Alex and this is the Car Creative, and in this video we are going to be doing a review of the Sigma 85mm f1.4 DGDN lens for Sony E-mount, and I'm super excited about this lens for so many reasons. This is the predecessor of the Sony HSM 85mm lens, which was like twice as big and super heavy. If this says anything about where Sigma is going, I think it's super exciting. It's so much smaller, so much more lightweight. The quality of the build on this thing is high quality. It still has a bit of heft to it, similar to a lot of the other Sigma lenses that you'll know, like the Sigma 35, the Sigma 20mm. They're still heavier glass, so a little bit of compromise on that. But one thing that they do not compromise on is quality of image. So let's get into some of the really cool details of this specific lens. I absolutely love the clicking aperture on this thing. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is a super satisfying and gratifying tactile feel that you get on this lens when you're kind of cycling through the apertures on this. And of course, having that 1.4 aperture is amazing for low light. You can switch it all the way to the automatic mode, so it'll still kind of choose the aperture, and you can also flick the switch on here, which means you can control it still with your camera if you want. But I personally found myself just using the actual dial. I found it just to be a super fun experience. It kind of connected you a little bit better with the lens instead of all the technology doing it for you. So that's a really cool feature. The focus ring is kind of a continuous focus ring. It doesn't have a start and stop point. I don't know if that's good or bad for filmmakers, but the autofocus works incredibly well, especially with how well, you know, our cameras are adapting to autofocus and all the technology in there. I found it to be a super slick autofocus. Didn't really have any issues with it pulling focus. Again, you can tap on the screen with the Sony a7 III wherever you want it to go. It didn't have any issues catching the eye or the subject, which is indicative of where the technology of cameras is going. And the way that I kind of tend to do my reviews is less about the technology that you have on the spreadsheet, but more about how you use it. So in this video, I actually went out with my buddy Spencer. We took his 2020 Tacoma TRD off-road edition out, and he's been building this thing for a long time, so go check his channel out. He also has a Sony a7 III body, but he has the Sony 85mm f1.8. So we kind of decided to go out and do a bit of a shootout. So he's gonna take his camera and I'm gonna take my camera, and we're gonna take our separate 85mm, shoot his truck, and see kind of what the difference is. Now, of course, him and I both have very different editing styles, but it'll just be fun to go out and shoot with him and have a great time. He's an awesome guy. But before we dive into any of the behind the scenes stuff, I just wanna make sure that it's clear that none of these opinions are paid for. Sigma Canada did send me this lens, which I'm super grateful for, but they haven't paid me to say anything. So this is all my own opinion. And on that note, I am super grateful for all of your guys' support on my channel. We're almost at 16,000 subscribers, and that just means so much to me to know that you guys are on the other end of the screen supporting me, watching this stuff, and care to have my opinion, which is kind of cool. One thing I am doing, which I hope you guys want to be a part of, is I've officially started a Patreon channel. I don't get paid very much from YouTube, and some of these jobs I'm doing for free, especially this one, to teach you guys. So Patreon is a way that we can create a car creative community, and I can chat with you guys. So a lot of you are in my DMs on Instagram and responding on YouTube, and it's so awesome. But I want to create a community with you guys through Patreon. So there's a couple ways that we can do it. There's some different tiers on Patreon that allow you guys different access to different parts. Some of the benefits will be access to the raw photos from all of my car shoots, so you guys can edit them, put them on your Instagram. You'll get access to my Lightroom presets. As well, I will be starting a Discord channel, so if you guys want to have direct access to me, and at different tiers, we'll also be doing live streaming where you guys can join into the live stream and we can chat directly about your questions, answering your Q&As, and not everyone will have access to that. That won't be YouTube wide. So I'm super excited about this, and I really hope that you guys will go take a look and see if there's a tier that interests you to be a part of the car creative community. That's a lot. So let's go behind the scenes, taking a look at Spencer and I shooting his truck with our 85mm lenses. We'll come right back here, take a look at the photos, and then I'll tell you some of the pros and the cons of what I think shooting with the 85mm is and who I think it is right for. Spencer is here, and he's got his Sony 85 what is that, a 1.8?
1.8, yep.
So we've got a Sigma 1.4 and a Sony 1.8. We're out here with his beautiful 2020 Tacoma that he's been building out. Make sure to go check him out on his channel. I'm gonna take some photos, he's gonna take some photos. I'm also gonna take some video too, so stick around if you guys wanna see some slow motion B-rolls with the 85 as well. And it's all gonna be shot on the Sony. This will probably be my last video ever with the Sony a7 III, unfortunately, because I'm shooting this on a Canon R5. So I'll be selling this, and it's pretty well sold. So this is like a farewell Sony. But if you guys are interested in the a7 III, it is an awesome camera. We're getting him lined up kind of where we want him. Gonna get those pillars in the background so we can get some contrast. That's good there. You see how the lights spill in behind there? I'm hoping I can get some cool contrast between the truck and those, and maybe create some leading lines with that. Yeah, that's the one. That's already the one. We got it. As you can see, it's freaking cold here in Calgary. We officially got snowed on. It's getting down to like -10 overnight now, so we've all got winter tires on, and it sucks. But that's what it is. So that's why we're shooting Tacomas instead of supercars. I also want to see if I can put you up on like the hill over there. So sad story, I used to own a 2020 Tacoma when I was working with South Point Toyota. Unfortunately, due to COVID, I had to give them the truck back. So now we just shoot Spencers instead because it's cool. It's still cool. Come on. You guys see what I'm seeing? We just gotta get a nice photo of that now. Woo-hoo-hoo! Dude, this looks so sick! Gotta go get my thumbnail. Get your ass up here! Get your ass up there! We need to get some photos of you, bro! Bro! We gotta get some photos of you, man! So, I definitely just dropped the R5. Seems like it's okay, maybe a little scuffy or whatever, but we're gonna go get some B-roll with the 85mm and the truck parked up in this beautiful spot. The sun is pretty well set now, but we'll still get some nice stuff. Alright guys, so we got a ton of really cool photos. Obviously the sun was setting like a beauty tonight.
So nice.
So I'm gonna go back to the office, do a bit of editing, chat with you guys about my experience with the Sigma 85mm 1.4. It's an absolutely beautiful lens, but I still need to go and review the images. This is the other thing with Spencer. He's actually an incredible business mind. A lot of the stuff on his truck, he either didn't pay for at all, or he didn't pay like full price. So I mean, if you want to get some good tips, go check him out on Instagram and like hit him up in the DMs, because he's actually like super clever with that stuff. And I need to probably take some plays from his book, because he's really smart with that. But I'll meet you guys back in the office. We'll shoot this a little bit more and we'll go from there. So as you guys can see, we had a great time shooting Spencer's Tacoma. We had a beautiful night, as you can see. I'm gonna put up some of the photos that we took here and kind of compare and contrast. Now, let's be honest, we both edit our photos very, very differently. I was editing for my Instagram style, and he was using one of his cool new presets where it's a bit more monochrome, and he likes to bring out the gray of his truck. But I just think it's a lot of fun to see how different creatives view different photos or aspects and angles. So hopefully you guys enjoy these photos. And because this is a portrait lens, I did want to have a go at taking a few portraits of Spencer as well, so we could see how well it would catch the eye. The balance between compression and having the ability to shoot at f1.4, I think makes the background fall away. And I think the bokeh is just really beautiful on this lens. But let's talk about some of the pros and cons of using the 85mm lens. So some of the pros of this lens is that the image quality is absolutely beautiful. It has really quick autofocus. There was zero issues for me shooting photos with it catching focus on what I needed it to. Having the low aperture of 1.4 is amazing for some of these low light situations that we were in. I didn't really have to use my ISO very much, which was really helpful. And again, I love the tactile feel of this lens. Being able to control the aperture ring was just such a joy when I was out there shooting. As well, having it be so much more small and compact, that means that you can actually take an 85mm, put it in your bag and still fit other lenses, compared to the older one, that thing took up your whole entire bag. Some of the cons of shooting with an 85mm, as you can see in these videos, we had to be so far away to be able to get the vehicle in frame, especially when you're shooting in portrait mode compared to landscape mode. It limits kind of what you can shoot, unless you're shooting, of course, portraits, people, and details. But for shooting automotive, it did kind of limit how much I could do. And that leads me into my final thoughts on the 85mm lens. So if it were me, I don't think I would buy this if this is my only lens, but if I have, you know, my 35mm from Sigma, which is my favorite lens of all time, and maybe you've got like a 24-70 as well, and you're looking to get a lower aperture prime, this is a beautiful lens for you to add to your kit. But if you are looking specifically for an 85mm, I highly recommend this one. It was a joy to use. It's super sharp. It's around $1,600 Canadian, so you could do the conversion or it'll be up here. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you found it entertaining. Be sure to go check me out on Patreon down below. Become a part of the Car Creative community as well. Come check me out on Instagram. Subscribe, like, do all the things that we do on YouTube, but I really do hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace, guys.